Hey guys, this is Mr. Waltz. I'm going to show you how to make the next piece here on the fidget spinner, which is called the nut. So we're going to use the same sketch that we used to create the washer. It should be down here on the bottom in your timeline. Find that sketch, double click it. And what we're going to do is make a piece. You can see here on the left side, we have the washer that sticks out on the left. We're going to make a piece that goes through the middle and then comes out on the right. And that'll be called the nut. And the screw head will go into the washer, go through that, and then actually thread into the nut. So I'm just going to start sketching again. I'm going to do a center line first. So I turn on center line over here. Actually, I guess I have to hit line. So I hit line first, then I turn on center line. I'm going to start right here at this end of this other line and then just go through here, go through to the other side. I think the distance is going to be 8. So I'll just type 8 and hit enter. So we got that done. I'm going to move the dimension down to the bottom. Also, this dimension is a little messy. That's good. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to start drawing more lines. Make sure center line is off when you draw these lines. And I'm just going to go up here, right there. Then I'm going to go from there to the right. I want to go right under this point there, click. And then I'm pretty much copying what I did on the other side for the rest of the way. Okay, so I'm going to go up to this point, click, make a new segment, go to the right, make another segment and go up. And then make another segment, go to the right. And what I want to do is I want to finish right above this endpoint. So I'm going to highlight that, bring my mouse up, there it is, and then finish right there. Okay, so there's my new sketch. And what I can do is you could put dimensions on this, but it's easier to just use your equal constraints. So equal constraint, I'm going to click this left side here and this right side here. They're equal now. The top here, click that and click this one. And then this piece right here, click here and then go find the matching one on the other side. Um, and it told me it was over constrained, but everything looks fine. Everything's black now. What I can do now is finish the sketch. So hopefully your sketch looks good. Um, Now I want to revolve this. I can't see it, right? So what happened is my sketch is hidden. So I'm going to go over here in the sketches folder and I'm going to force it to show sketch 2 and you'll see my sketch there. Then what I want to do is create a revolve. So I click revolve. Now this time it won't automatically pick up the axis or the profile. So I have to do that manually. So you got your profile selected here, click in this area. There's your profile and then click axis. And you can click the center line that you drew and then it's going to revolve it. Now you can see what it's trying to do here is create just one piece here, and we don't want that. We want a new piece. So the operation down here, we have to change the operation. Instead of join, we're going to do new body. Okay, so we can click new body and click OK. And then now it made a new piece there. You have your first piece, your washer, and then on the other side you have your nut. Okay, cool. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hide this sketch. Um, Oops, excuse me. There we go. Hide the sketch. I'm actually going to hide the washer. Um, so I can just see the nut. There's the nut. You can see it appeared in my bodies folder up here in the browser. I'm going to right click and create a component uh, and click on the name, click again, and then I'm going to type nut. So now I have the nut. I'm going to go ahead and do the material on this, physical material. I'm going to use that same plastic. All the plastics are a little different, but it's pretty close. And you get that color there. Okay, cool. So there's the nut. This is looking good. It does need to have a fillet on it. So I'm going to do a fillet over here. I'm going to make the fillet match the other one, which is a 1mm fillet, if you recall. Cool. And then what we need to do is we need to make our screw hole in here because this is where the threads of the screw are going to be. We're actually going to use a tool in class called a tap to cut these holes. Hole threads. So we're going to put a revolve in here, not a revolve, excuse me, a hole. We're going to click hole. Don't click revolve. Sorry, guys. We're going to put the hole on this face here, this round face. Again, you got to line it up. I'm just going to drag this center to here. It should snap on there. There you go. And then we're going to go down here and do our hole. So the first thing is extents. That's how far the hole goes in. What we're going to do is we're going to make this go into a surface. We're going to click extents to, and then I just want to make it go down to here to this face here. Okay, so that's how far the hole will go in. The hole type is going to be a simple hole. We don't need a countersink or a counterbore. Um, and the hole tab type, this one we actually want to put threads on it. Now the 3D printer will not actually do the threads, but what it will do is make a hole that we can use to create threads once we print it out. Thread offset, just leave it on full. Drill point, flat. We don't want anything at the bottom. And then all we got to do now is go down here at the bottom, and we're going to use our thread type. We're going to put in its isometric profile. Size is going to be 4 millimeters. And we want an M4 by 0.7 thread. That means it's a 4 millimeter diameter screw, and it has 0.7 millimeters between each thread on there. And so it'll make a hole for that. And then we can use our tap to actually make the threads in the hole. So I'm just going to click OK. And you can see it goes ahead. It makes a hole. You can actually see the threads in there. You could spin that around and look in there. And there is your tapped hole. So that's the end of the nut. Let's just let's save this. Let's turn some things on here. Let's turn the washer on so you can see how the nut and the washer fit together. You got the hole for the screw to go in, and then the hole threads into the other piece. We could turn on our first bearing and see how that goes in. Notice that there's a clearance there so that the uh, the washer and the nut only touch the inner race of the bearing, the inner part that doesn't rotate, and it lets the outer part rotate freely so you don't get any friction. And then you could turn your rotor on to see how it kind of all fits. And you could even turn on these other bearings if you like. And there it is. All right. So go on to the next video and I'll show you how to insert the screw and do the finishing touches.